Hey guys, welcome to week 19 of Nautical Nonsense. That's Nautical Nonsense. In case you haven't been watching the videos, I suggest you go back and start from the beginning. I've spent a lot of time on this rear part of this boat, getting it ready. It was in a lot worse shape than we had thought. Thought we were just going to be able to do a little bit of pull the floors out and put the new tanks in, but ran into a lot of other problems. So it's been working on that, but we're finally making some progress, getting into some other areas. Hope you enjoy this week's video. Don't know about next week. With my job, they've called me up, want me to go to Panama City to help with the hurricane recovery there. So I don't know how long I'll be gone for that. So there may not be a week 20, but we'll see what happens. I don't know how long I'll be gone, but let's see what we can get done this week. So I got something special in the mail today. It's from Cell Life. All right, so let's open her up. So here we go. Let's see what we got here. Ta-da! Cell Life. And pretty dang spiffy. I'll have to put those on my boat when I finish. So it's getting that time of year already where it's dark by the time I get home. So I guess I'll be working with a work light if I want to get anything done in the afternoons after I get back to the house. So let's see what we can get done. Alright guys, so this is what I've been working on. I worked on this yesterday a couple of hours. I did clean that crack out over there, but there was a 2x4 that ran across here, and then you had these couple of uprights that sort of held it in place. So the 2x4 was rotten right in here. So I thought, well, I'll just remove all the 2x4. So if you'll look, which I may have showed this in another video, here are the screws that was holding that 2x4 in. If you notice something about these, here's the screw head. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there was no way to unscrew it. Some places it had double screws, which it had double screws all the way down through here, but I've already removed some of them. So so this is how I'm doing it. I'm having to chip it out a little piece at a time to get it out. So that took a little longer. As with everything, it always takes longer than you expect. So let me see if I can get this other piece of board out right here. So it took me a little bit, but I got all the screws out. So there we go. Now I can work on cleaning up this edge over here where I can get my wood, where I can insert my wood into the crack. This back here, I'm going to have to think about this a little more, how I want to do this. Probably going to cut this back to here and put a whole new piece of wood up to this top skin, because as you can see, it's damaged all down through there. When I removed that 2x4, I don't know, it was pretty rough back there. So I'm going to work on that. I'm really liking this feature. I really like that. It's a Harbor Fright tool. I got that thing on sale for like 25 bucks. Check that out. So this is the core that was in that floor. It was balsa wood, looked like. But really surprised how dry it actually was. But anyhow, we got it out. We can start working on putting some new in to replace that. Alright, let's see what we got here. Looks like it's about 10 millimeters or 3/8 thick. So let's see what we can come up with. This is what I've been doing for the last hour, is cleaning out this groove where I could slide a piece of plywood in there at least a couple of inches. It was rotten. It was rotten in some spots. Most of the spots it wasn't, but mainly just on the corners it was rotten. Through here it's pretty doggone hard, but out to about 6 inches from each corner. So I'm cutting back about 3 inches. I'm gonna slide a piece in there and build this lip up to here. And I think this will be my edge of where my back of my hatch will hit. So I want to build this out to here, make it nice and smooth and square. So what I'm doing is using this tool, going to right there. So I've got it down through there, but what I'm doing is going in doing like an X pattern, like that and like that, all the way down through there, and it's cutting it out pretty good. So here we go. It's a little noisy, so watch your speakers. If you're trying to get epoxy into an area like this, it can be very difficult. I mean, you can try scooping it in there, you know, trying to push it in there like that. Or you can take a Ziploc bag, cut a corner and try to squirt it in there. But let me show you a little trick I use for an area like this. Because what I'm going to do is I want to squirt epoxy in here, peanut butter thickness in here. And I'm going to take a resin coated board, slide it in there, and then fill this gap. Cut it back to dry wood. So let me show you a little trick on getting it in the back there. So this is what you want to do. You want to find you a caulking tube. One of these plastic ones work well. And if you got a water-based product that cleans up with water, that makes it a lot easier, but clean it out. You may want to get one that's not pushed all the way down to the end. That makes it very hard to get the plunger out. So this one I've already cleaned out and worked it out, but I'll just flip it around like that. But I cleaned it out. So what I did was when it was down in there pretty far, I was able to squeeze it in there like that and pull it out. So next, what we want to do is mix up some peanut butter consistency epoxy and fill this tube. So let's go do that. Now the fun part is packing this. You only have a little bit of working time. Usually when you get epoxy in a large volume like this, it wants to harden quicker. Yeah, I'm messy with it. I did mix it where it would harden, take it longer to harden. Where's my rag? Here we go. See that? Squirt it right in there. Put a nice bead right in there. So there's my board, my filler board. That board's about 4 or 5 inches long, and it's shoved back in there with epoxy behind it, and it's got, I pre-coated it too. Then I put another layer of epoxy on it, another layer of epoxy on the bottom, wedged it in there. Now I've got it clamped. So there's the top of the deck. That's the coring, And then back there behind that is the underside of the deck. I'll come in here and cut this off smooth, and there'll be another board to come out that'll make my lip. So this is just a temporary install, as you can tell. This is just planning stages. I'm trying to get my measurements, plan out what I'm going to do. These are going to be my floor support. This is just stuck in there for measurement. It won't be a 2x4. It'll be a 2x6 here, and it will be cut. It'll be crowned where it drops off on the sides and raises in the middle. I think I calculated about 1 inch higher in the middle the deck is than it is on the sides. So I want to put that slope in that board, and I'll do the same thing back here. You'll have this same setup here will be back here. So you'll have a 2x6 with a curve in it right across here. You'll have the same thing up here on the front end. Then you'll have another 2x6 run from there back to this support. Another 2x6 run back to this support. And then once I finished all my coring, that's what I'm doing now, is coring all this, record it. I'm cutting back in there about 4 inches back to dry wood and putting in resin infused plywood. So I'll trim all that. There'll be a lip. This isn't the actual lip, but there'll be a lip like this, and it'll have fiberglass on it. But that's what the plywood will sit on all around here. And then there'll be 2x4s running across the top of the tank for this edge, a 2x4 running across here for this edge, and that'll be to screw the hatch covers down into. Or they're not really hatch covers, they're deck plates, because they'll be screwed in and sealed, and only have to come out if there's ever a problem with the tanks. You'll have a hatch back here, actually that hatch right there. That'll be back there to get to the fuel filters and inspect anything back here. And then when the tank will sit, that'll be the back edge. I don't know if you can see that line. And then there's a line right there. That'll be that corner of the tank. So the corner of the tank will be right there. So on the deck, you'll have an inspection hose about right up here, like an 8-inch screw out hose, and an 8-inch over here. Now this will leave seams in your deck, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is come back in with not teak, but maybe some other kind of wood, and do the deck in wood, and that way you won't see the seams. But I don't know, I may round these over and just make them pretty and just seal it and go with it. We'll see when we get to that point, but making some progress. So I've got this board, it's ready to go in. I'm just waiting on the fiberglass resin to dry. I did both sides, so I'm waiting on it to dry, and then I will paint it like I did these, and then I'll put it in, and then I'll be ready to finish all this. The tanks will be the last thing I set in. I keep saying I'm gonna put them in, but I'm gonna rerun these lines. I gotta put my exhaust supports in here. Last week's video I cut it all. I lost, couldn't find the rest of my video, but I've got this cut that holds this exhaust. I can't put those in until I get all of this lip in here, because that lip's going to go all the way back. Same thing on each side. It's going to go all the way back to the wall, and then there'll be a board 5200 along there to hold that back edge to make it even stronger. So you should be able to set the engines out here on here, and this deck will hold it. So let me know what you think about this plan, your suggestions, what you do different, and so I'm always open for input. Right there's the center board. It's all painted up. Let it dry overnight. It'll be ready to install tomorrow if I have time. Alright guys, that's this week's video. Hope you enjoyed it. We got a little progress made there on Nautical Nonsense, and I really hate that I'm not going to have time the next couple of weeks probably to do any work. I'm heading to Panama City to help with disaster recovery for a company I work for. So I don't know how long I'll be there. It could be a couple of days, could be a few weeks. You never know when I get caught out of town on these kind of projects. So hopefully I'll be back pretty quick and can make some more progress. We're getting so close to getting the bottom aft end done, but you got to take care of the main job, and I'm glad I can go help out. Also, if you like and enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be reminded when I post a new video. Thank you, guys. Welcome to week 19 of Nautical Nonsense. Excuse me, cat.